Hey guys, it's just Sis here today. Or Jules. You can call me Jules. Um, anyways, still awkward. But anyways, I wanted to share with you guys some things that have helped me on this journey to getting to know myself and healing my trauma. These are things I didn't, if I would have known years ago, really would have helped me out. But I'm glad I know about them now, and I'm going to share them with you, and hopefully this can help you on your journey. So one of my favorite things about this newfound information that I've learned, which I've talked about in a video before, is attachment styles. They're very interesting, and I feel like everybody should most definitely look into this, because it's not just how you attach to a partner, like a romantic partner. It's how you attach to your parents, your siblings, your dog, your cat, your friggin' box of cookies, I don't know, stuffed animal, objects in your life, just about anything. But the person who invented attachment styles is John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth. I just wanted to put them out there because they're the founders of it. But then I wanted to talk about Brianna McWilliam is the person I mainly studied through. And it's because her approaches to this are psycho-spiritual. And she also uses creative arts methods with it. So, by the way, for everything I'm talking about, I am going to leave links for you guys to look at in the description box. But so Brianna McWilliam, the creative approaches she used are actual art methods. So some of you out there who paint your feelings or use more artsy things to help enhance those feelings, like my brother Chris, he paints a lot with his feelings. So I feel like she would even be a shout out to you. Look into this, Chris, because this could really help you out. But let's see. I like the fact that she uses psycho-spiritual, so she's kind of more up my path. I don't know much about the actual founders of it. But yeah, anyways, you can go on her website, take her attachment style quiz. There are 4 different categories: secure, anxious, disorganized, and avoidant. Figure out which one you fall into. You can take her program on her website if you want to. I am kind of broke half the time, so I just went onto YouTube after I found out my attachment style and went through her list of videos there and took what I could from that. So there's the po' boy way. Okay. Your attachment style can change too once you get on there and you start learning about it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know, I was an open heart at first. I feel like I'm more disorganized / secure at this point. But I was like, wow, I'm an open heart, anxious attachment. Am I always going to be this way? No, you can change them. And that's the cool thing about being aware of who you are with it. But being aware of your attachment style can help your relationship patterns or repeated patterns that you're having with, say, a romantic partner, or with somebody in your family that you just can't really vibe with very well. I feel like all around being aware of how you attach to things is going to be beneficial, and start thinking more about it if you have problems with stuff. Moving on. The next one I just found out about recently, and it's an Enneagram test. This one I'm also going to leave a link, and the po' boy way is you can take this test for free, and then it'll have you pay for it if you want all the other results. But if you want, take a screenshot of what your number chart is, and then you can actually research on your own free what all you need to know from that. The cool thing about the Enneagram as well is that there are actual playlists out there. I think on Spotify. It's probably on other platforms too, but I use Spotify. My stomach is very upset today, so ignore that. Gallbladder stuff, Anyways, yeah, the Enneagram Test, there are playlists out there specific for your personality types, and I think that that's really cool. Even like I've listened to some of them and I'm like, I don't really connect with this style of music, but at the same time the words and all that are pretty cool. I wrote notes. And then, of course, your basic personality test and the 16 different types. I found one that's the closest to the Myers-Briggs, which that one is like the most accurate, but this one is free. And, you know, I'm into that free stuff. Secondhand thrifting, there we go. Yeah, your basic personality test. I'll leave a link for that below too. And then your love languages. This one was also like up there with attachment styles for me. So knowing my love languages is like, oh, that's how I receive love. But also it's helped with like those people around me. Like if one of my loved ones is in a pickle and like, you know, they really need some help or they need like some comfort, I know their love languages. And that like is pretty cool because that's what they need, not what we feel they need, which is how I used to just like love people. Is I was like, oh, this makes me feel better, so let me do this for you. And then I like really realized like how different we all are from other people, how different I am from other people, and like not everybody receives love in the same way that I do. So being aware of your love languages or having your loved ones or family members like take this test could like help out, give you a leg up. So those are mostly the tests that I've looked into, or like the things that I've looked into. Now I'm gonna go into books. So primarily with me, what I struggle with on a daily basis is my PTSD. So my books are a little bit more like on that style. This one a classmate from massage school gave me, and it's called Complex PTSD from Surviving to Thriving. Easily, I had this book over a year before like one day I was going through an episode, and also I was just looking through my books and I was like, what? Like, where did this come from? And like now it's really torn up and stuff because like I use it a lot. It's my book, you know? But like this is easily the book I love to pass around to people and recommend to people that may struggle with PTSD, or like, we're not supposed to self-diagnose, I know, but look, poor who can afford healthcare sometimes. Also, what I love about this book compared to like what you hear about PTSD, which in one of my videos, my PTSD video, I talked about how like a lot of people think of PTSD and think of veterans. It goes over in like the first chapter that PTSD can also be like emotional and verbal flashbacks, which was a game changer for me because I'm like, oh my gosh, I found something that actually like resonates with what I go through. Because there are times I'm sent back to 18, I'm sent back to 15, I'm sent back to 10, I'm sent back to 12. And it's not necessarily a visual flashback, it's the emotions that I experienced when a traumatic event happened to me. So this book also has like a 13-step guide for whenever you go through an emotional flashback. And that has been a game changer for me. Also realizing that I have different types of flashbacks. I have different categories within my PTSD. So like learning my triggers for all these things that I am triggered about. It's a very slow process, but like I started with therapy and now I'm learning to do a lot of this on my own. And yeah, this has been a game changer for me. The next book I can't talk much about because I just started looking into it, but I've heard so much about it, and it's The Body Keeps the Score. So I've already read like a little bit of the first chapter. So I'm a book skipper. I'll skip around the books, I'll read a little bit of it, put it down, get interested in another book. It's kind of the way I clean my house. I don't know, it works for me. So I can't just talk about like, oh, I've read all of this. I've read lots of parts of it, and that works for me. But anyways, The Body Keeps Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. part of the first chapter has already gone over PTSD. And honestly, with veterans and victims of sexual assault and like what their bodies go through, because PTSD, it's really mind body, it's just they're interconnected, and it's like PTSD affects like your brain, how you think, how you developed. So those of you out there that struggle with it, and like it's a daily basis for me, I'm not somebody that can go through, when I'm having a mentally hard day, I can't work, I can't really be around people, I have to nurture myself. Honestly, I had a day like that today. I cut my day short and I had to do stuff to like nurture myself, and it was really good for me. I'm feeling much better, but my body definitely took a hit, and like, you know what, we're working through it. That's all you can do with PTSD. I think this book actually states that it's like, no, it's my other book, the Complex PTSD book. It states you take like one step forward and 2 steps back, but at the same time, you still took that step forward. And that's what matters. The next book, I bought this because I'm a Libra and I'm really bad at making decisions. But no, really, it's just the fact that I couldn't make decisions, and I wanted something to like help with that process, or to better understand why it's hard for me to decide what I want. It is called Blink. The Power of Thinking Without Thinking. And it does go over like your intuition, your subconscious, thin slicing. In one of our last videos of Chris and Sis, I talked about Gottman. He is in one of the first couple chapters of this book, and how he thin slices relationships and like can tell you whether you're going to be with your partner like years from now or not. I highly recommend this one. I'm only about 2 to 3 chapters in. That's actually pretty good for me. Like, spent a lot of time on this book lately. So yeah, that's another good one. And this other one I'm talking about, I have on Google Play, so I don't actually have a hard copy of it. And this one, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna be more of a controversial one in the sense of like some of the language that it uses, but it's called Silently Seduced, and it's got like a heart cover, like orange and black, and it honestly goes over the relationships that like parents have with their children, in the sense of like sometimes the parents hang on to a child and treat them more as like a spouse or a partner, and put responsibilities on them that they should a spouse or partner, but the child is left, you know, being that person, and how that can affect the child. It goes over like mother-daughter, mother-son, father-daughter, father-son, just like, I found it really interesting. I don't want to name it, but I have a couple siblings that have gone through that, and I wanted to better understand like how I felt too. I felt more as like a scapegoat child than anything. So I felt like a lot of things were taken out on me, but it wasn't directly like that I was my parents' like other partner or anything. But then I watched 2 of my siblings, you know, become that person for parents, or for the parents that are in their lives, and like how that took over, and how that's influenced them now as adults and making their own decisions and what makes them happy. So I really, really enjoyed that book. I read half of it, but like the first half I was like, it's pretty good. And that is all that I've got. I've made it through this video. I think my stomach only growled like 4 or 5 times, and like, yeah, that's good for me. That's a good day. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that these things help you. Please leave a like, and like even share, because this information is really cool, and like it's been really, really helpful, honestly. Like, it's a big reason why I feel like I know part of me. I, love this stuff. The mind is exciting. Learning about ourselves is exciting. We all love that little bit, I believe, learning about who we are and, unworking trauma. Best wishes to all of you. Peace out. Thanks for tuning in.